Well, hello everybody. Today we're going to be playing some Planet Zoo. My name's Logan, and this is the Gamer Outpost. For those of you who don't know, Planet Zoo is a sandbox style game, which means you have free reign over just about everything. You can think it, you can build it. There's a bunch of different modes, but today we're playing franchise. We might do sandbox someday and just create to our heart's content. Like I said, again, my name's Logan. The name of the channel is Gamer Outpost. And feel free to comment if you like the channel. Without further ado, I'm going to start by making a zoo. I'm going to be giving you tips and tricks throughout the video. So if you want to play the game yourself, make it a let's play. You can build along. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can go right in the comment section and ask. So to start off, let's go over a couple basic commands. We can go right here to our little game book and we'll go over the basics. So let's say there's four basic game modes. You have franchise, where you create anything you want, but you have a limited amount of money and you have to keep earning money. Career, you have scenario modes where, say for example, you're going bankrupt and you have to fix it. It's kind of like Zoo Tycoon. The other one's the challenge. Sorry. You have to start from scratch. You have a whole simulation, and you also have challenges to compete with. And then sandbox. Sandbox is like Minecraft's creative mode. If you can think it, you can build it. There's no stopping anything anywhere. You get your camera modes: standard, free look, and explore. Standard is what I'm in now. Explore is when you click on an animal. I'll show you this later, but when you click on an animal, you can follow them around and do whatever you want. Camera controls. So as you can see, if I right click and I drag, this will pan the camera while still keeping it on people. The zoom camera, it's your scroll wheel, which is in the middle. If you want to rotate your camera, you click the scroll wheel and you move left and right. Or, which is what I do all the time, is hit both left and right and you're good to go. You can raise the camera with E and lower it with Q. You can swap between camera modes. So to start, you're automatically in standard, which means you can only do so much. But if you do T, which is free look, you can move only in one area. So this is standard, where you can go up and down all around. But then if you do T, hit it once, you have free look from wherever your viewpoint is. Alright, switch it back. So when in free look, you can raise the camera if you just hit shift. Maybe. Free look mode, raise the camera. Huh. Wonder why it's not working. Alright, well, it's supposed to work. Let's see, more controls. Toggle your flashlight, L. Just remember, L for lamp. turn it on and off. You can't really see it because it's daytime. You can reset the camera orientation by just clicking the home button. Hold on. Sorry. Where is my home button? Oh, there it is. You can reset. Then you get your camera modes. We've already looked over those. Your second. So you can toggle with T. Rotate. These are used when you're in Explore mode. So, I can show you a bit more basic later. Then you get your basic controls. You select something by just hitting on it with left click. Cancel with E. Cancel with escape. You can undo by clicking Control Z. You can redo, Control Y. Pause the game with P. This little counter down here in the bottom. This is what I'm doing. On and off with P. You can change the speed, which is down here, by just hitting O. You need help, you can click F1, I'm not going to do that. And F5 saves your game. Brings you to your save menu. So since we're here, let's save the zoo real quick. And exit out. If we want more controls, we've got placement. But we'll go over these as we go. I just want to get you with the basics and the movement. Okay? So without further ado, let's get a little bit into the game. The first thing you're going to want to do is, if you don't want to, you don't have to, but you can get rid of this by just hitting the multi-select, which is hitting I on your keyboard, dragging, and then just do delete. Perfect. Now, the next thing you want to do, spin the camera around. And because the game is built in a certain way, we can take advantage of this so we're not losing money in the beginning. By doing so, if we hit H, which brings up your heat map, and then going to power, you can see this circle here. This is your beginning power grid. As long as you stay within that, you don't have to power anything, and everything will stay powered on. So if you place a water purifier, or a heater, or even animal screens, you don't have to worry about a thing, because you're within this. Now, to make sure you're within these lines, you want to select one of these, and then just go along it, and trace. Nice and slow, go around. Doesn't matter if it's perfect. I know y'all perfectionists might go over it a couple times. Like I did. Just a couple. Make sure it's nice and firm line. Then you'll see, once we hit toggle H, you see this area here? So we can just go over a little more. That area there is where you want to build within. And if you keep within these areas, you won't have any restrictions to power or water or anything of the sorts. The next thing we want to do is get rid of that. Sorry, don't get rid of that, because we might need them later. So instead of deleting them, we just hit Control I, or I, not Control I, and then we can hit M, and we can move it freely. We just throw it over here. Do the same thing with these trees, You don't have to, again, this is something I do just to get them out of the way. Now while we're in this menu, if you did this, and then you've got a couple of other options, right? So you can save it as a blueprint, which therefore you can easily select it later if it's something you really like. You build an enclosure and you want to use it in a later game or in a different version of the game. Say you build it in franchise mode, but sorry, vice versa. Say you build it in creative mode or sandbox and you want to change it over to franchise and use it, you can do that. So what we did was we moved it, but if we hit X, then we can advance move, brings up these. So blue toggles along your X coordinate, Y, or sorry, Z, and green is Y. So I'm just gonna hit that. If you want to duplicate, you can click Control D. You just hit out of that and you can get rid of it. And you want to duplicate and advance move, Control X. And you're good. Look, these are your easy little movements. And then of course you can hit delete to delete anything in the game. Or if you can't remember those, just go up here and you can hit move, advance move, all those things. And now to start, what we want to do, go to paths. This is the best way to start. And delete your path completely. Okay? Now you'll see why we do this. And I will tell you why we do this in just a minute. If you scroll this just up to 4 and we unselect delete path. So if we hold it just close enough, we will get it to connect. And if we get it to connect, come on, connect, come on. If we bring it down to 3, it will connect better. Yeah, there we go. Hit right there in the center. And you got yourself, instead of a weird 7, which is what they had before, you now have a solid 8. And then you can hit whip, bring that sucker to 8. Now if you're in here and you want to do that, you can just hit Control plus. Nope, sorry, not Control plus. You know what, now is a good time we can go over a couple of these placement controls, because this is what we're doing. Okay, so let's just do a little bit. Let's go here. So if we do shift and click up, we can move the object up, or we can move it down. Works with WASD as well. Okay? And if you want to rotate it, you can just click Z, and you can rotate it any which way. Rotate 90 degrees, just hit Z. You don't have to hold it. Toggle advanced move is Z, or X, sorry, I don't know my alphabet. And then you can move it like this again, advanced movement, up and down, all around. You want to confirm your placement, you just hit the left Joy-Con. If you want to delete it, start over, because you screwed something up, just hit delete. You want to cancel the placement, you just hit escape. Cycle to the next item, you can hit the sorry. You can hit the backslash. That's what it was. So by cycle they mean, say you're on something, right? You can cycle to the next item if it's in a group. I forgot to mention that. More controls. Now, if this is something you want angle snap, you just hit the space bar. Hold on, we need something that can be angle snapped. So like if we go down in here, we go to walls, let's go here. Space. This toggles your angle snap on and off. So without angle snap, we try to hit something, place it down, right? See how... No, sorry, doesn't work with this item. Let's do African post, okay? Hit space, you get your angle snap. Turn it off. Turn it on, you get angle snap back on. Now you'll see what this can do a bit later. Lock to surface. This is a good one. So say I built a little wall, okay? And we're looking at it, and we're going down, and we're looking at it. And we want to add something to it. So, for example, let's add letters. Now you want to lock to surface, you hit Control. See how it's locked to the ground? If you hit V, sorry, Control V, now this is where it comes in handy. So if you lock the surface, right, you hit Control, it ain't going nowhere but to the surface that it's on. If this is a flat wall, you'd be able to see it just a little bit better. Now position snap, if you want F, you can turn it on and off. So it'll snap to the position. If it's not on, as you can see now, it doesn't snap anywhere. It just wants to do nothing, really. It won't snap to the wall unless you like drag it to the wall, and it still doesn't work. So then you hit F and you get your position snap. You want your random rotation, you just hit semicolon. Random rotate. Rotate. Random. Yeah, see? Reset rotation. C. And we'll go through these other tools later. So, back to our pathing. We can go over a little bit. You'll see I like to use cobblestone just because I'm a cobblestone kind of guy. So you can change this out to cobblestone or whatever you want it to be. And you'll see you'll get these two little lines. You see them on the screen? And then you do that. Now once you do that, you just click out. You hit align to grid. And you'll align it to this grid right here. And then you go out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. 4, 3. Then you want to do something like this. Okay? And then you just make yourself a little box. As long as you stay within this box here, you can get rid of it later, fancy it up, doesn't matter. But because it's at a weird sort of angle, you just do it like this. We get ourselves a nice little box. Now while we're here, let's quickly go over the placement for your pathing. So path controls, okay? So if you're in pathing, and you want to adjust the height, you can click shift and go up and down. Actually, hold on. Go over here real quick. Shift, up and down. you want to raise your path, you can hit U. So like that. You want to lower, you can hit J. You can get it to go underground. Increase length, you hit equal. Or plus, whatever you want to call it. And then decrease is minus. You can disable the jointing by just hitting control. And that stops it from linking up. Place. Place. Exit. You increase the width by just hitting... Oh, that's the wrong thing. By just hitting these two keys here. I don't know what to call them. Brackets. There you go. Increase the width by hitting your brackets. So your right bracket increases, left bracket decreases. If you want to straighten your joint, you hit Z and space. Straighten them out. Oh, just hit Z. You don't really need to hit space. Space actually just does toggle snap again, and then delete, you can just hit delete. I mean, simple as that. Hit delete, and it toggles this little sucker right here. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And let's get back to building. I just want to make sure you guys have a good understanding of what you're doing if you decide to play the game with me. I mean, I know it's been out a while, but hey, maybe some of y'all ain't played the game yet. Now, next thing we want to do is add some facilities. If we go down to staff and we go to blueprints off, you get all the basics. So let's start with quarantine. Now, another thing you want to watch for is if you go here and go to negative impact, you'll see there's this right here. Now, that big old red circle is going to make the guest upset. And if they're upset, they're going to want refunds because the place looks terrible. So just avoid that altogether. So if we bring it here, we bring it over here, and if you want to line her up, go like this. Perfect. So now we have a quarantine. We'll put a staff room right next to it, and a vet surgery here. Now this, we're going to expand later. As long as you keep it within this area here, we're good. Okay. So, now we need a keeper hut. The keeper hut's gonna go on this side. All your little huts, I'll put on one side. Oh, I hit it one too many times. Get your research center. Workshop. And last but not least, you need an animal trade center. Altogether, you should have 7 areas. And if you do, well, that's good. Now you want to go here, delete your pathing. And then hit align to grid. Align this here. Go over. And you'll deselect grid. Hit angle snap. Remember, you can just hit space if you want. And just make sure these guys are connected. You'll be all set. Now, see, these are already all connected, so we're good. We're going to expand a little bit this way. Hit deselect grid. Sorry, we want to reselect grid. Do it like that. We'll just bring it out a little bit. If we want to delete the path, there we go. Bring it out just a tad bit, not too much though. And honestly, I think we can make this just a little tad bit bigger. Hit delete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Align the grid. Just give you a little bit more room. Now here we don't want angle snap, and we want the length, which we can increase here, to be bigger. Something we don't want. Deselect grid. There we go. But we also want it to be 8 so it doesn't screw up. And we want that little curve. Perfect. Now what I was saying over here is, if we go in, we delete some of this path, here, 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 and then we just bring this out 1, just like that. Or better yet, let's just do it like this. We go like this, and we just curve around. We get ourselves a nice little area here. And before I forget, something stupid that I almost did. If you want to change this right here, all of this is going to be staff passing. Otherwise, your guests are going to be going back here, and no one's going to be happy, because they're going to be seeing it. See, I did that on purpose so that I could show you what not to do. Now we have our little area here. What's the next thing we need in a zoo? Think about it. Come on, you can think. Yes, exactly. We need places for food. Now, if we go to facilities and we go to guest facilities, once again, blueprints off, we go to drink stall. We get ourselves a nice little gulpy soda. And one thing you want to do, not place it just like this, or else you'll have a bunch of people blocking this area. So what we do is we go a little bit out, click in, perfect. Food stall. Then we get ourselves a chief beef. We do the same thing. We'll put a little space between them. And if you want, you can even change the paths so that it's not exactly the same. Over here we'll put our merchandise and information. So we'll start with the information center. I'll put that there. I'll put merchandise right next door. We'll do just a memento. Now when you first start off, you're not going to have so many selections. But because I've already played the game a bit, it has everything pretty much pre-unlocked. So I'm going to go with just a memento. I'm not sure what you'll have to start off with. It's been quite a while since I've played. So I just hope that it's not too bad. We want ATMs over here. Lock them to the grid. A couple of them. People need to buy stuff. And last but not least, what's one more thing we need? You guessed it. We need a bathroom. We'll put them right here. Just a little bit away from... Perfect. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to get rid of you. I'll put the toilet block right next door to this. And then put chief beef on the other side. Perfect. Then what that does is it allows us this little area over here where we can add picnicking. So if we go to pathing, we go align a grid. Go 1, 2. We got this little area. It's a real nice area. So if we go back to facilities, we go to all, then we click in table. Alright, nope. We want benches. And we just picked the one that we like. So, for this kind of style, I think I want to go with something like this. Something like this would look good. If I can get it. Let's see. Turn them around. Now something I do here is duplicate. Just so you guys know. I gotta try to line them up. Right there. One there. We got ourselves with a nice little... Hold on. Be a little tricky. But I know if I don't do it, somebody else will be a little upset. So that looks a bit more lined up. Perfection. Now you got some nice seating. Now because we have so much space that we've made, alright, we can duplicate. We can line some up more. Nice, as long as we have some good spacing right here. And then we just line it up with this one. We got ourselves some seating. Perfect. Now what's the best part of a zoo? Money, of course. Oh, how'd that happen? I thought I had one here. Now, you gotta make sure we're watching our money down there. Because if you're not, you can easily go bankrupt. And you don't want to go bankrupt. Now, one thing, like real life, you want to set like a $2.50 charge for using this. And that's where you get a bunch of money back. And then you want to set all your prices. Nice little fluffy toy, 20 bucks. Picture book, we'll bring that down. Now there's nothing wrong with bringing stuff down prices. And we'll do... say an $18 shirt. Adoption pack, first we'll see how much we can do. So apparently the highest you can go is 20, so we'll stick it with 20. What about you? We can go 50. Sorry. Yeah, we can go 50 here, so we'll do 20, 35, and of course the most expensive is going to be $75. So if we sync all of our prices, perfect. We do the same thing over here. Adoption pack normal. Sorry, adoption pack normal is 20. 35. 75. Our guide, let's bring it down to 150. Make sure you add the decimal point. No one wants to pay 150 bucks for just a little audio guide. Blue umbrellas, we'll bring those up to $7. You can get away with charging $7 at a zoo. Once the zoo opens, we're going to be so profitable. and hopefully you guys will be too if you follow all my steps. And then we'll go down to here, we'll go prices. We'll make a regular gulpy about $9. A gulpy guava, that's the word. A gulpy guava. It's a specialty, so you want to give it a specialty upcharge. So let's say $12, $12.50. Just to get, I guess the most I can do is $10. So 10 it is. Can we do $12.50 on this one? $10. $12.50 on this one. $10. Okay, in that case, let's just bring it down. We'll make a gulpy $4. We'll make a gulpy guava $6.50. And we'll make the gulpical just a regular $5. Sorry, $4. Because it's the same thing, so you want it to be the same price. It's like paying more for Diet Coke versus Coke. It's unreasonable. So if we do $6.50, remember the decimal point, and we do synchronize to all shops. So right there, we're making, sorry, let's look at our profit. $2.75 for each one of these sold, $5.25 for each one of these sold. We're making some good money. You could charge for bathrooms, but what kind of monster does that? I'll go chief beef. Burger. How much does a burger cost nowadays? Way too much. So if we bring the price down, we're likely to sell more. I call it the Dollar Tree effect. Lower prices, higher profits. Okay, first we'll see what's the most we can do. $30. So we'll split that and we'll say burger will be $5.75. And then a chief burger, which is a regular burger, will be $4. Alright. Oh, then I didn't synchronize, did I? So if we ever build more in the future, they're automatically going to be synced. Next thing we want to do, we want to build ourselves our first enclosure. We want to start making money. So to do that, we go to barriers, and we go as close as we can to the edge, and we click. And we'll make it a nice 8 meters. And I have angle snap on. If you don't want it on, you can turn it off. Move you over just a tad bit. Same thing here. You see this little plus sign area? So if I move this over just a tad. Just a tad. Oh, I see. Okay. So here's where you would hit minus. You do something like this. And if you hit curved, you can make the whole selection curve. Now here you don't want angle snap because it's not really good when it comes to curving, in my opinion. Perfect. Nope. What happened there? Okay. So now, if we go over here, we turn off angle selection, and we go 8 meters. Turn on angle snap. To do so, we want to move you back a tad bit. We want to build. Build. Perfect. Bring this back just a little bit. We can pass right past you. And link them up. So this is our first 2 enclosures. go max length, just so we know we can connect it. Perfect. Next thing, we add a door. Because what places fit without a door? So we should probably extend this path just a tad bit. Length 1, width 4. We don't have to worry about that. Never mind. We gotta add some habitat gates. So if we do it, just like that. There's one habitat. Oh, looks like we gotta redo this real quick. Now I know this isn't straight, so I'm gonna try to straighten it out. Perfect. It's pretty straight. And we can add another gate if we want. Which we want. That's just so the keepers can get in. Speaking of keepers, we need to get us some keepers. So to do so, what we want to do is click on Zoo, click here on Staff. Now if you go to Staff, I would get just 2 of each. Some people will tell you 1, but I find it's best with 2. We only need 1 mechanic at the point because we only have 2 enclosures. We need a security guard, but we can also put out cameras when we have money. A vet or 2, doesn't matter. Oh man, I'm real tired. Sorry. We have 1 staff room, so as long as they all don't go there at the same time, we'll be good. Now, what you want to do is do just what they're doing nowadays and pay garbage. As low as you can, lower it down. See that guy? He won't let you lower it no more. But this guy, borderline. Mechanics won't let you lower it. Oh, maybe. I didn't think they would. I know for a fact that security guards and oh, what's this guy? Sorry, not that guy. That guy. Caretakers won't let you lower their salary. Damn, can't even speak. So we have them. Make sure you're always in pause when you're doing stuff like this, or else you're going to lose money. And you don't want to lose money. So the next thing we want to do is add our animals. At this point, you have 2 options. They're good money makers. You have the tortoises, either Galapagos or what's the other one? Aldabra, which you can find right here if you type in tortoise. So Aldabra, vulnerable, and so is your Galapagos, vulnerable. So because they are less around, people pay more to see them, especially if they have babies. Another thing you can look at is the Komodo dragon. I don't think they're as rare, but they're still good money payers. Yeah, see, they're only endangered, whereas the tortoise is vulnerable, which is 1 more step above. Either way, you can make money. Or in our case, we're going to have tortoise and Komodo dragons. We're just going to have them both. More money, right? I know. So then we'll go to animal trading. If you want to read up a little bit, this whole thing, I'll read this a little bit for you. So we're gonna do the Galapagos. because I like them. They're cute. The giant Galapagos tortoise from the Chinlids nigra, or Chinlids nigra, is a species of reptile endemic to the Galapagos Island and does not appear anywhere else in the world. They come in two types, saddleback-shelled and dome-shelled, and both variants have a dull gray-brown shell and scaly gray-colored skin. Saddleback-shelled tortoises have long necks and live in dry lowland areas, while dome-shelled tortoises have short necks and live in humid highland areas. Both can grow to extremely large necks and grow to extremely large sizes, with the average male weighing between 272 and 317 kilograms, and the average female weighing between 137 and 181 kilograms. Let's see, if you use a different scale, you're just going to have to pop those into a calculator, because I don't know it off the top of my head, the conversion rates. In the past, over-exploitation caused a number of giant Galapagos tortoises to suffer a very sharp decline. They were hunted for their meat and oil, while their habitats were destroyed to create farmland. Seafarers would often stock their boats with giant tortoises as a food supply due to their large size, providing plenty of meat, as well as the fact that they require very low maintenance. However, captive breeding and releasing back into the wilds has brought the species back from the brink of extinction. Good for us, right? Despite still being vulnerable, they are now also protected by conservation efforts. The current problem they face is their habitat being destroyed by non-native feral goats, but efforts are being made to remove these goats from the islands. So bye-bye goats. So after that, if you want more facts, I'm not going to read them all because that would just be boring. You can go here, you'll see group size, bachelor size, fun facts. You'll unlock these as the game progresses, so you won't always have all this. But because, like I said, I already had the game unlocked and played it, we good. And here you can even see world records, so maybe you can be the next one on that record board. Just treat your animals right and maybe they'll live forever, or maybe you can breed them to be great big giant creatures. Now, to get the animal in the first place, we want to go Animal Market, reset all filters, refresh list, and then type in Galapagos giant tortoise. They're going to be kind of pricey, but if you have the money, they're worth it. Now, you probably want to start off with great ones. Like, look at this. Your size, 58. Longevity, 58. Immunity, 17. Not great, but not terrible. But the fertility rate, 67. Now, that's pretty good. That's why it's in the green. Marco, on the other hand, whoa. He's the only male, so we're obviously going to get him. We can check out the other females real quick. But Adelita. There we go. She's only 661. See, these are all dome-shelled. No soft-shelled or whatever. So now that we have them, one thing you want to do with fresh animals to start, always, is go into your storage. These are just other animals I had due to the fact that source Frontier Zoo, Alita and Marco. Send to zoo. Always put them in quarantine. You need to quarantine animals. That way they can find problems before they arise. If you don't, then you might get protesters and whatnot. Now, while that's doing that, we don't have to just be lying around waiting. If you go to facilities, and we go to media screens, and right here we have a setting. Turn it around, we can set up our little area. Now you don't need too many to start. Put one there. And maybe one over here. Depending on where they're going to be. And then you need speakers. Good old speakers. Now you can see the heat map automatically pops up, but if you hit H, you can get rid of it. You go here, you click it to the back, and then because there's nothing in the area, it's not going to let you do anything. Same thing here. But once they're out of quarantine, you can then put them into the habitat. Said you always want to quarantine first. Quarantine, quarantine, quarantine. I'm gonna move this guy up just a tad bit. So if you remember, if we click on it, we hit X, Control X. Sorry. Control X. We can pull it forward. Or just X, not Control X. Control X duplicates. I should know this by now. Go to facilities and grab yourself a speaker. Latch that sucker on the back. And you're not going to make any money if you don't have this right here. Look, quarantine's already passed. Donation bins. A lot of your money is going to come from donations. So if you set a box, you set it like right here. And then you go over here and you set another box right next to it. You're good. So both of our animals are out of quarantine. So we're gonna move them over to their habitat. We're gonna make sure they have plenty of space. And they should, because they only require, yeah, see, there's 320. If we go back to our little guide here, you can see, if you go to natural habitat, and then prepare for the worst, so we'll do 2. And if we look at their breeding size, we can see that oh no, we want to look at reproduction. Four to 16 eggs. So you can get 2 to 7, really. So if we prepare for, let's say, somewhere in the middle of even 7, you only need 248 meters, and we have plenty. We have 328 meters squared. So here's your tortoises. Before we do anything else, we're gonna add one-way glass. Now you guys can't do this, so you're just gonna have to, when you first start the game, you're just gonna have to use regular glass. This will aggravate them a tad bit, so you'll always get notifications that, hey, this sucker's being aggravated. To get rid of that, all you have to do is just quickly research it. And you can do that by going into the zoo, and you go into vet research. Nope, I lied. Mechanic research. And the first thing you want to do is go to barriers. And once you get to number 5, you'll get your one-way glass. Otherwise, you'll just use regular glass, which is already unlocked in the beginning. Now that they're in, though, we can go to these boards and we can set them up so that they're making money. And once they make babies, you get even more money. But even without them, as you'll see in a second when I click on the donation box, let's work on range real quick. Okay, we got one there. Pull over. Range. And we set it up so it's just a tad bit. Now if we check our donation box, nothing yet, because they're probably still bad. We pause the game, that way we can worry about their needs real quick. they need shelter. So you probably don't have all these blueprints unlocked, but I do, and I'm still not going to use them. Now if we go into filters, you can filter by animal, which is probably your best bet. Maybe. Oh wait, it's over here. Filters, filter, filter, continent. My filters, biome, content pack, brand, theme, material. I thought you could filter by animal. Not gonna lie. Okay then. If you type here, you can type in tortoise. Turn that off. And you'll see, because all of these are on here, you'll get that. But let's say, for example, tropical. We use this little area back here. It should give us enough space. I forget who I got this one from. Where was it? I want to see who it was from. I don't remember starting you. Aha. Tropical, tropical, tropical. Hold on. If we type in cave, it'll definitely pop up. I just want to make sure I give credit to where it's due. So this is Caverna Tropical. I got it in the Steam Workshop, but I can't remember who built it. And I'm sorry to whoever created it, but I said the name, so if you type it in, just make sure you say thanks to that person. Now if you play it for just a second, you can see, yeah, they got plenty of space now. Plants. Because these guys love plants. I'll move you down. Perfect. Another thing you can do is if you hit the heat map, you can see exactly where these guys can move. Traversable area. Now if we want to do like a double cave, we can add rocks, but we can do that later when we start making money. They require lots of sand and other mixed species of everything. So if we do that first, real quick, add in the sand. And once the sand is added, you'll see that the gauge will go up. We play for 2 seconds. And you go to terrain. Terrain is terrible. Look, they got way too much sand. So we can add stuff like rock and soil and both grasses, which is what I typically do. I'll take a little bit of everything, just click it in there, tad bit. You can see, it'll change around. Add some soil. And some rock around the rocks, you know. And you know, maybe a little bit of more soil and some long grass over here. We got ourselves a nice little area. And then maybe a patch of grass over here, right there. These guys have a nice little area here, as you can see. Now, one thing you want to do is always check and make sure that these guys are perfectly suited. And add some scenery. Like, come on. You want some nice scenery. Not just for the animals, but for the people. Now, if you sort by south and tropical, for the continents, we'll do south and central, and then theme. Sorry, not theme. Biome. You go to tropical, and I get all these plants. I usually start with a big centerpiece. So let's go plants. If you go all the way down, you get something like this. Freaking Wimba tree. Or turn off blueprints. There we go. Something like that. Or we could stick with something more native. So like Kapok tree. We can bring it down. Beautiful. Now they got a nice little tree. And it's centered. Then we can add some of these plants just randomly around. Maybe a bit of giant rhubarb. Maybe a smaller giant rhubarb. And look, now they have too much coverage. So what adds the most coverage? Kapok tree. Okay, so sadly we're gonna have to get rid of you. Delete. Delete. Okay, now what are we at for coverage? Okay, so now we just need a little bit of a smaller tree. If we get something like the small coconut palm. Brazil nut tree. Oh yes, perfect. But if I kind of want to add more, so like let's do something like African oil palm. There we go. I'll add a couple of them. Maybe a nut tree. Not a nut tree. A sprig. This is a nice tree. No, it's not. I hear ya. We're gonna a nice little mangrove, even though those don't grow anywhere except for in the water. We'll do a nice little couple of large plants. What about you? Yes. We're gonna move it down just to give it some layering. Oh, look how beautiful this little area is. It's perfect for these guys. And they get to feel like they're hiding. Okay, so we got our environment. Now we need our enrichment. If we go to habitat, we go to enrichment, right here. You're not going to have a whole lot unlocked in the beginning, but like I said, because of the fact that I've already played this game a few times in a few different modes, then I have stuff unlocked. Okay, we got our fruit spike tree. Oh, we should probably type in tortoise. Add a little ball. Okay, we're halfway there. Always make sure, if you have blueprints, turn them off if you don't want to use them. I'll put an herb scent marker here. Herb scent marker. Nope, not there. I was trying to put one over here. And of course, we need ourselves a little sprinkler right here in the middle. And then you'll see when we start it up, at 100%. But then of course you need food and water. So we'll get a nice little water pipe. I think these are the most aesthetic. Place it coming right out of the tree. Beautiful. Maybe move it up a little bit. So it's not exactly all the way in the tree. We'll put one there. And we'll put a little water dish over here. In case. Because these guys move a lot. So you have to have at least a couple within the environment. Put one over here. Last but not least, we need feeding. Feeding stations. Do a small one. We'll do a large. Right. Gotta be careful because of these hitboxes. Okay, here we go. Nice little feeding area here. Put there. So now if you look in, you'll see these guys creeping around. And they should be pretty happy now. And then you'll see people will start paying. What, 20 bucks already? Zoo price is great. Make sure you're checking all of these. I wish I could have stayed longer to see the tortoise. So small. Zoo could do its expanding. It's little. The zoo ticket price is fair. So whenever this happens, and they say there's a nice view, you want to move and put like a little donation spot. Just, you watch. Look, 120 bucks. So you just gotta watch the crowd. The crowd starts coming over, that's when you start making money. And maybe over here they'll see another one. But it seems like this right here is gonna make us the most money. See, we got 220 already. Oh. Sorry. Hold on. I gotta do something real quick. Because of the fact that these are blacked out, I need to move all of these one-way glass. Then we change the side that it's on. So now the view should be great over here. As you'll see. Maybe. Yeah, look, 24 bucks. I like the view of the tortoises. Ooh, see, they're all cluttering up right here. So, Control P. Duplicate and add a donation box. Now, see money start flowing in. As you see, we're already making money. But of course, at the beginning, you're gonna lose money as well. Oh, come on. Ah, my first 100. And I think at that point, guys, I think we're gonna leave this video here. I think we're coming on. Oh, hold on 1 second. I lied. Something like this. We can use our light. We also need to edit our barrier. So if we delete this barrier, a new one here. And it just adds a little bit more space. Perfect. Now they should have just enough space. Look at that. Terrain, 251. And 235. Tiny amounts of litter. These people are animals. That shouldn't be a problem. It's all right here. Okay, one more thing we need to add is some bins. They're called bins, not garbage cans, in the game. So we'll go one here, a couple here, one here. If we add one either side, and maybe one right here. We'll add a few here. I'll put one right here on the corner. Perfect. Put one in between the habitats. You never have enough trash cans. Really. Right on the corner. One right here outside the bathrooms. I'll put two next to the bathroom. One to either side. Perfect. Oh, we'll deal with all that litter later. Look, we're making money. And once again, sorry. At that point, we're going to leave the stream here. Just checking our money real quick. I hope y'all enjoyed watching me play. If you did, and you want to support the channel, you can head over to Gamer Outpost on YouTube. It's the same logo as on here. You can also follow me on Instagram. Also Gamer Outpost. Gamer Outpost everywhere. And I mean, if you're on YouTube, feel free, like and subscribe, comment down below what was your favorite thing, anything I could have done differently, what's your favorite part of the game, anything really. Just feel free to comment whatever. I like to hear what you guys have to say. Alright guys, that is going to be all for today.